afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. But it's a thing we want you tuned into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host. And today I'm here with my sidekick and my partner in crime, Tony. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. And you?
Yeah, I'm blessed. And also, we got a special guest today. This brother, I've been knowing, I know for at least 10 years or better. Yeah. And he's been doing the same thing. When I met him, he was doing it, and he's still doing it. You know, working for veterans in this state and probably in this country. But Leonard, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man.
You know, it's so good to have you on the show, man. We're here today because we did the little press conference the other day, which we were trying to get what we started some years ago. Yeah. You know, bringing organizations together. To leverage our power to change. What we see in the country today is that we got a government that's malfunctioning on every level, and I'm thinking that you might not know this, but you probably do know this now. Me and Tony come out that most active senior generation of veterans. You know, the career veterans. I got a couple career veterans still kicking it. When I say still kicking, they out there running their mouth. They out there trying to pass their legacy on to other generation. But we coming out of the most senior generation of active veterans right now. This is the Vietnam era veteran. And, you know what bothers me more than anything that I can remember for my journey. And I'm gonna ask Tony. Tony, wasn't we fighting Russia?
Yes.
Yes. I'm thinking that we were fighting Russia in Vietnam. I think that the North Vietnamese was being funded by the AK-47. We'll talk about that. But then here come all of these generations that followed us. Leonard, you know, your generation coming in. I mean, you crossed some probably two generations after me that was engaged in military conflict around the world. Who was the major influence that you was fighting?
Same people.
I thought I was having a nightmare, brother. No, I'm glad you're telling me that because I'm trying to figure out then what is this going on in our country where we care more about the Russian way of life than we care about the way of life that we serve for, you know, this democracy where, you know, you got equal opportunity and, you know, for everybody. What happened? Because see, I'm asking you, I'm putting you on the spot because I want you to tell some people. Because see, this brother has been economically driven in our community ever since I met him. Because he was trying to help veterans get economic footing, you know, going out getting them jobs and everything. So that's why I'm going at him like that, because when I try to lose, he's going to tell us something, he's going to teach us something.
I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm just paying attention to the climate that we're living in. You know, there's a decline in morality. All right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know, my mom always say, you know, I wish things were the way they used to be. And I said, Mom, you might well get over that because ain't nothing going to be what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? We live in a new norm, right? Exactly. You know, and as I'm sitting here, what I get a great pride in is that I feel that I'm part of the greatest fraternity this world ever known, the U.S. Armed Forces.
Yes, brother. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, and I'm gonna follow that up with something though, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, I said was right. You know, because you know, man, we've been sold out, dude.
Yeah.
We've been sold out, right? You know, by our own government. You know, and the thing about it is this right here. Now, I'm finna go in a different direction here, okay? Please allow me. I appreciate you bringing me on your platform. You know, I got a document that tells how the VA got started. The VA got started after the Civil War.
That's right.
You know,
history. History.
And they said this. They said that we will take care of the people who fought and their families. Thus creating the VA. But guess what? They weren't talking about y'all. But wait a minute. They weren't talking about us. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a
Right.
minute. Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. I'm a preacher. Let me just check myself because I don't want to be saying amen in the studio. But what you were saying is so absolute true.
Right.
That we have to look at something that over that.
Yeah.
You know, I always say when I read the Constitution and the opportunities that it provided us and the way we used it, nobody in the history of the world used the U.S. Constitution better than black people.
Well,
you know, but the whole thing, Leonard, is that we used it. We saw that gate, that door, that we could come up out of slavery. You know, that we could get the Constitution amended to the point that we were no longer 2/3 of human beings.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I want y'all to keep me straight now because I'm a preacher. I don't want to lie to you.
I got you.
You know, but
you missed it. I got it.
Leonard, listen. What we did and our ancestors, man. When you start looking at how they took this Constitution, you know, took it and crawled out of slavery with it. You know, made integration to the point that you know when the Indian was talking, they speak out of pocket tongue.
Yeah,
I didn't understand that to them.
Now,
I grew up doing the black and white TV, and you know they was
3 channels. TV went off at 12 o'clock. Sound off.
So
go ahead.
I'm in this growing thing, and I'm looking back, man. I'm saying nobody used it the way we used it, but some kind of way. What Malcolm said, you know, when Malcolm and King had this meeting.
Okay.
I wish that should have been a flower in the room on the wall.
Oh yeah.
What we came out of it with, Malcolm said, well, you know, I'm not really with that integration stuff because more than anything, he was talking about morality, the morality of the slaves, that we have would start mimicking the master.
That's how we saw.
That's all.
Yeah.
So we came up with this, you know, this discrepancy. And while we was debating, right? While we was still debating, like we doing a lot of debating today, still the action. Because see, I'm so glad you're here because see, you ain't no talker, bro. You talk, but you an action brother. You see,
yes, sir.
So, but what we saw coming up is that they saw us coming up. The slave masters' children.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with today in control. They took off the sheets and they got on. They even lawyers,
Brooks Brothers suits.
They did all of this because they had to adapt. Now
that's the word.
They did. They did.
Yeah.
And we didn't see the adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, we thought it was that those whites that had a right heart, you know, that worked with us. We thought all of them was like that, right? So we thought all of them was like that, and we kind of opened up ourselves to being bought off.
That's who we are, man. That's who we are. We're very awesome people, man. You know, most of the world benefits off of inventions that black men and black women created.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
didn't get no
not
credit.
just the tangible inventions, but I'm talking about intellectual stuff.
Of course. You know, but you know, I'm gonna digress too, though, right? You know, we talk about how we got to where we are. We got to understand that we was conditioned for 400 years to be who we are. You know, very damaged people. And out of everybody else in this world, they have had a chance to pause and heal and regroup.
We ain't had no chance.
We ain't had that.
We ain't had no chance.
You know what I'm saying? We still getting it.
We still rolling.
Yeah.
And then now we got this force that done woke up. Them suits, you know, all them folks that took off the sheets and, you know, got into the suits, we're seeing them now.
Yeah.
That they really who they are and what they're trying to do. And what we got to be more mindful of than anything is the way they control media.
That's what it's for. It's theirs.
Yeah, they control it to the point that they are able to keep us separated with all this information because they give up the misinformation with the good information, and we so busy trying to survive. Now you making they want to talk about $15 an hour. I'm gonna say this in Atlanta because you've been working, getting people work for years. They talking about $15 an hour, and you got one senator that was standing on his yacht saying that was too much money. I ain't gonna talk about it, but I'm just gonna say you gotta watch the news. Standing on his yacht saying that was too much. That's $33,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's not a livable income.
Man, stop. Okay. So that's the same thing that we get when we get 100% most of the time.
I'm going there.
So we still living below poverty.
Listen, I got a petition.
100%.
I got a petition online.
Go ahead.
Online right now. Been online for a minute, asking for 30% increase for disabled veterans across the board because it takes at least. I'm talking about at least $62,000 a year income to live in this economy.
Yep.
I'm talking about living it with the quality of life everybody on a more equal scale. You ain't got
Can I
to
get
look.
a bottle of water, please?
Yeah.
You got me?
Yeah.
You asked the guy in the back. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, sir.
No
problem.
You know, we got to talk. We just veterans talking to veterans and the community because see they don't forget.
Real talk, though.
This real talk with the community because and with us. See, that's why I started off asking, do veterans vote matter? And if it does matter, then Warnoff is down there today talking with a group of veterans and a big church, right? So you're gonna have some veterans showing up, but are they organized to tell him the PAC Act need amending?
They're not.
You understand what I'm saying? But
They're not.
thank you, Senator, for the hypertension finally getting on the VA presumptive list. But what if the veteran location where he was exposed is not acknowledged? That don't mean nothing to him.
Biggest thing. I advocate for mental health, for veterans, for human and civil rights. Okay? The first one covered the other two.
Yep.
Mental health.
No help.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at what large percentage of us suffer with some form of mental health, anxiety, depression, PTSD, substance abuse, TBI, MST, and 22 veterans will take their lives today.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Not the kind my generation dying from exposures to Agent Orange.
Of course.
So you're looking at what is a crisis situation. You're looking at what is a crisis
That's
situation.
fine.
What you're looking at is a crisis situation.
Thank you so much.
That we have in our community. And I'm at the point that the only way we're going to effectively deal with this is first to have conversation. Open up conversation. And then the next thing, we got to come together and stop being jealous of each other, stop being pitted against each other, and realize that that's the way the enemy is taking away all the gains, however few they are, that our ancestors have made to get us to this point. Well, we got to the point where we had a president that looked like us, and they said, I never seen a Congress disrespect a sitting president the way they did that president. And now they got an ex-president, right?
Yeah.
They got an ex-president. He ain't even president no more. That they are showing us every day that he is above the law. I'm talking right, but we got to look at how our governments are functioning and let veterans know that we are in a predicament right now in this country that we can determine the outcome of every election. Why? We have influences that they don't think about. Now, I mean, I got children.
Yeah.
I got friends.
I got 7.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got friends.
That's a whole nother story.
And we can get some of them folks to vote with us too. Right?
Yeah.
Then we got people that just understand that the truth of what you started off talking about, that commitment, that sacred commitment. If you serve, when you serve, and you honored to serve this country, if something happened to you as a result of that service, they're going to take care of you and your family.
Yeah.
The claim process is so screwed up. I've been doing claims since 1975, and I take a responsibility for having generated millions of dollars back into the community through veteran benefits.
Okay.
But it's still shortchanging us. It's still short-changed because they got all kind of little rules that they will put into the administration and operation of law after Congress done passed it. So now that's why we see more veteran cases being settled in court than ever at any time in history.
Exactly.
We don't need the courts to be doing that. We need the legislation to make clear what the bureaucrats should do when they send them a law.
Question. All right, so there's 22 million veterans in this country. Veterans. We ain't talking about service members, right?
22 million.
But less than 10% of them use the VA system.
Less than 10%. And I'm going to tell you something else there. It wasn't meant for all of them when they designed it.
Of course. Well, that's where I'm going. You're still my thunder now. You're still my thunder, right? You know what I'm saying? Nothing in this country was built for the masses. Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so for us to sit here like we haven't seen this movie before, we're just as delusional as the people who have created the system.
Well, you see, that's why we have veterans talk, because we've seen the system.
Yeah.
You know, we know what it comes from.
Yes, sir.
You know, we know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. They invaded America. I just want to let people understand so I can let them know where our service comes from.
But we don't fought in every war this country ever had.
Yep.
We've always
And
fought
I'm
in
talking about, like, I'm going to tell you something, man. I was in the Vietnam War. I was in combat in Vietnam.
Bless your heart.
And I'm going to tell you something. We got some heroes in our community, bro. Cold.
You one of them.
Right?
Yes.
Heroes.
Yeah.
Man, them brothers served with such distinction that we got one of them in the Secretary of Defense. That's what we are capable of doing.
You been to the VA?
You know I used to work.
Okay. You ever go down the wall with all the POWs on it?
Right. Oh yeah.
It's one black guy.
And I'm gonna tell you, when you did that, man, you just stepped on my toes, because I buried with one of my best friends last month. I knew him ever since I was in the first grade. He was shot. He got three Purple Hearts. He was drugged off by the Gooks, right? And they never recognized. They recognized him right before he died as a prisoner of war.
I met that guy right out there.
Elijah Foles.
Yeah, I met him.
See, so what you're talking about, man, I got to see the heroes, but then I didn't see. And I had seen all the movies before about war heroes, right? And I never seen nobody look like me that was in a hero movie. You know, and this is why I tell folks, man, I don't do this just because I am alive today. I do this because I remember those that served with me, and I have been experiencing the VA ever since I got back in a negative way. It was never a positive way. So that's why I wrote Short Change, Memoirs of an American Combat Veteran, to tell my story even after I'm gone. Because, see, the two militaries that they had in this country before 1954, the white PFC could tell a black general what to do. I'm just telling you the inequalities that we was up against when we were serving this country.
Yeah.
You know, these are the kind of things that we had to serve with, and we did it in ways that when I started studying the history of serving that, because I had a granddaddy in World War II, you know, and I'm growing up with this man. This man was my absolute hero. He taught me everything I know. And I'm trying to figure out how come I couldn't see no brothers like that in the movie. There had to be some heroes in World War II. We just found them. If it wasn't for the Tuskegee Airmen, they would have lost the war. You know?
I'm fit to recognize.
That's Air Force stuff.
Yeah.
I'm about to recognize a World War II veteran who fought at the Battle of the Bulge up under General Patton. He's going to be 100 years old this year in November. He's been with my organization now for 7 years, right? He was brought to me by the Clayton County Fire Department, and they had came in contact with him because he was in a crosswalk and got bumped. He didn't get ran over, he got bumped by a car. When they did an assessment on him, they found out that he was 93 years old at the time, and he was homeless. Him, his caretaker, and her son. Yeah. To talk about what you're talking about, but this is the thing. Okay, so here we go. We ain't finna sit here and talk about the problem.
No, we got to talk about the problem and all the people that understand the urgency of the solutions that we got.
Okay, and that's the thing. They want to turn to us for the solution. The solution is partnerships, collaborations. I mean, it ain't. Wait a minute. It's not complicated, right? We making something complicated that is not complicated. But one of the things that we have never done throughout history, we never played with each other well in our community, right? You know, because we've been conditioned to dislike, first of all, ourselves, anybody who look like us, and it's the crabs in the barrel, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, one trying to climb out and everybody else trying to pull in.
That was what they handed us through.
Of course,
the slavery process.
That's Willie Lynch.
Willie Lynch.
That's Willie Lynch.
Yes. And we have to recognize that, especially as veterans now that we got the solution, but we got to make people understand the urgency of the solution that we have, so they won't be doing what they do, being distracted. One of the worst things, I do this all the time in my pulpit. I say every morning I wake up in my hometown, 2 mothers are crying. One because their child has been murdered, and the other because the police is looking for the child out of the same community, our community. And we have allowed automatic war weapons in our community when they wouldn't let us bring them home from war. You know, so we got so many issues that we can actually take advantage of Malcolm's warning. It's going to either be the bullet or the ballot, you know, to save us. So we need to understand that our vote right now is the most important tool or weapon we have against what we see them trying to do. Because all kind of distraction. Now all of a sudden the media want to say that, well, the Democrats might win. Listen, don't depend on the media. You know, get ready to go to the poll and vote like you never voted before, because our democracy really depends on it. Now if you think that, look at the people that they are trying to replace this government with and their history of doing things. They have no respect for people other than themselves. They don't feel like that the law really is subject to you. You're not to be treated the way they be treated under the law. The Fourth Amendment to don't mean as much to you as it means to them. The Second Amendment don't mean as much to you as it means to them. Because you can go into the penitentiary system right now and see all these veterans incarcerated, right? Incarcerated without due process in most cases, whether it was a guilty plea or a trial. Don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so wait a minute. I was waiting for you to finish. You know, I am certified, and I just went and got recertified maybe 3 weeks ago to go into prisons. And my goal there is to identify veterans who are coming out, you know, because you're talking about how many is in the prison. You got to understand, man, you're in a penal state.
Bro, man.
Yeah.
You're in a penal state, you know.
If I could share this, I did 20 years, 8 months, and 18 days in the belly of the beast. The joke is that they put me out of prison. I had life without the possibility of parole. But it was the NAACP and their influence upon Herman Talmadge at the time.
Well, boy, I know.
I don't want to talk about overcoat, whole cut. But listen, the man pulled me out of the penitentiary and took me before the Senate Committee on Veteran Affairs to testify for PTSD.
Okay.
Why? Because I was wounded in combat and diagnosed on the battlefield with combat fatigue. It was not a recognized disability.
It was called Shell Shock.
Shell Shock.
Yeah. I
So
remember.
I did the Shell Shock stupid stuff. Because the mental health stuff, now I wish Tisha is in the audience. We're going to see. Because see, when I be talking about my combat experience and my PTSD, people think that it's just for males. They think we're just talking about brothers coming back out of the military, shell shock, and nobody want. I didn't want to admit it. First of all, because the mental health stigma that's in my community.
Yeah.
Right? My mom tell me something wrong with you, boy. I ain't nothing wrong with me, mom. I go to the VA because she's making me go to the VA. Damn, boy, you got a little anxiety, but you all right now. Mom, ain't nothing wrong with me. I spent 20 years, 8 months and 18 days in the belly of the beast. Under a sentence that I was never supposed to be getting out again. And what I learned, I had to read the 13th Amendment when I was there to see what they were doing to me. Slavery shall be abolished based on race. But under the guise of a felony conviction, you shall be subject to involuntary servitude. The prison system is the new slavery.
Jim Crow. Wait a minute, see, we talking about veterans, but we bringing up different things that are put in place.
Because we experience these things.
Of course.
We are equipped to educate the community with these things. Now, here we are, we didn't talk about the problem, we see the problem, we're coming together for the solution. And I want you to talk about what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking a coalition.
And how that works.
We tried to start a coalition back in, I think it was 2015.
2015.
And some of the very things that we were talking about occurred during that time. Jealousy, envy, all of those things, right?
All that,
and of course, stuff. We too were spearheading it, and all I was doing was providing space for them to come in and say, I have a platform that we can all get on and operate and have a voice. But because it wasn't their platform, right?
Okay, there you go.
You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. They didn't want to participate, right?
That's what got our community separated today.
There you go. But, and the thing about it is that, and we have a young lady in the audience, right? And when I was talking about being a part of the greatest fraternity and the diversity,
and the smartness of this fraternity.
Exactly.
Gotta get that out, man.
You see what I'm saying? But listen at this.
Get that out.
It's no different. Check this out. I was listening to this guy that I admire, and he went all the way back to the Greeks, right? Roman, And to condition people, you got 10,000 people over here, 10,000 people over here, and they come together and they fight. And out of the few that live and they're mangled, they go back to their, their cities, Rome, they on the street begging like we see ours begging. Be like, you look like you can work. Why are you doing that? I fought in the Roman army. You know what I'm saying? And the other ones become gladiators. And when they get too old, they feed them to the lions, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is not a win-win situation for us unless we operate from the truth. See, the solution is the truth.
Is the truth.
Because, see, we've been sold a bunch of illusions.
Yeah.
This whole thing, you was talking about George Washington and all these other people, right? All that's fairy tale. I'm going to say this and I'm going to give you the flow. We're old enough to know that everything that we've seen was a fairy tale.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is a miracle. We're the greatest theater on planet Earth. I had to go back when the enemy was talking about the white man speak with a perfect tongue to see what that meant, and we see it today in our senators and our elected officials on every level of government, and that's why veterans need to come together, because we know how government is supposed to operate, because we was a part of government operations. We was a part of government operations.
That's correct.
It was under the military code of conduct. We understood that if you had a duty, you didn't perform it, you didn't get.
You was disloyal.
You was disloyal.
You was disloyal, and you did not want to be disloyal. So what kind of mentality is that?
Well, the kind of mentality that made us prepared for the day, and to deal with what's going on in our community today. You know, if we can get this coalition, and we can, I believe this.
Yeah.
I still got the documents, man.
Yeah, this coalition, all the organizations that's working in the community working together. Stop letting them separate us because they got control of the distribution and control of the tax dollar. See, one of the things we forget is that we elect these people. And what we need to start doing is better before we elect them. Well, I'm going to say this now. This election is the best election I've seen in a long time because the people are vetting these people that's running for office now. They see them because they think that they're speaking to the fear and ignorance of the populace.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they think they're doing. And, you know, it might work in a certain little crowd.
Exactly.
You know, but what we got to make sure our crew recognize that we ain't going for none of that. We're not going to be distracted. We're going to the poll and watch this election so that we can take over the Democratic Party, which is weak, you know, and get them strengthened by electing the right people. To put them in, I'm talking about on state government level. Let's not forget, we got a veteran running for, we got several veterans running for office in the state.
They are.
In the state. And we need to look at the people that they're running against because some of them folks they're running against don't need to be in our government.
I was listening. What I was listening to is that a lot of us see politicians as leaders, and they're not leaders. They're deal makers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and their whole goal is the next election. You know, and the solution again is to create leaders. See, a leader's whole job is to create other leaders, right? Not where you're always in power, where you're always shining, but bring somebody up so you can get out the way, right? We're in trouble, basically, and you brought that Constitution up several times, right? Not let you get away with that one, right? You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't built for us, number one. It wasn't built for us.
No.
And to take away my right to bear arms, all I got to do, you got to do is get a felony on me, right? So how do we're 12% of American society, yet we make up 67% of the penal system, right?
Well, see, now, when I was in, and I'm going to show you, it's a generational growth thing. Because when I was in the prison system, there was less than 30,000 people in the Bureau of Prison.
Really?
Less than 30,000 in the Bureau of Prison.
Wow.
Now it's over 180,000.
Yeah.
You know, what we have allowed to happen is that the way the governments run the government, we're causing crime in the community. Because they're creating lack. You know, you create lack on anybody, they're going to do what they got to do to survive. And we sit back and, you know, because I got a little bit more than you, I'm polishing my car, and when I leave home, they're going to get broke into. You know, we got to understand how crime works. I had to study this while I was incarcerated because, you know, the most crimes are committed by omission. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see, if a person is in a position to enforce the law and don't, for whatever reason, that's a crime of omission. And you see that more in the courts, in our governments, than anything that you see in the streets. And then what makes it so bad, we elected people that appoint people that think and act just like they act. So what they are doing is creating a community where I would say the old slaves is against the new slaves.
And that's exactly what it is.
Because they're scared of them.
Well, you know,
but they're our children.
But we're electing parasites and predators.
That's
I
hard.
just said it. You might not want to air this, right? You might not want to air this, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And they're
Truth
parasites going after their own people, and it's sickening and it's sad. But this is the thing. On the other end, I understand that they sick. That they sick, right? But if they sick, they should not be trying to govern other people.
Well, see, and that's our issue.
That's correct.
That's our issue. And that's where I'm saying veterans need to come in. I tell people all the time, I don't need a gun because I'm a mental patient.
Yeah.
You know, I will pull the triggers for paranoia reason.
Yeah.
I'm getting started thinking you're doing something to me. I done shot somebody up, and I'm a mental patient.
Yeah.
But how many mental patients have been conditioned the way I've been conditioned to face the truth?
Yeah.
You know, what we have to be able to do at some point is recognize how we have been separated in our families and in our community. We have allowed people that got 90% of the wealth, but they're only 2% of the population.
That's correct.
So they are manipulating the rest of us. And we keep going for it, but we got the tool to antidote that. I guarantee you, we can bring the prices down to where we need to be. All we got to do is go on the 30-day fast.
Yeah.
Let's fast and pray. See, there's some things that's all you need to do is just fast and pray.
It's economic, man. Yeah. You know, and going down the line,
don't buy that.
In addition to what you just said, man, you know, we talking about accountability and responsibility. That's what we're talking about.
That's exactly.
And you know, the thing about that is that you look at our community where the dollar saves in our community 6 hours, right? You know, and we allow all of these different industries to come in our community and rape our community. You know what I'm saying? And they take, but they don't put that back in. I ain't not gonna say names. I'm talking about restaurants. I mean, we don't own nothing, man. We don't own nothing.
And then you go into one of them and they won't let you use the bathroom.
Boy, what? Okay, so here we go. And the thing about it, well, they don't have to because guess what? They own it, and we don't own nothing.
Okay, Veterans Talk ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I want to turn to Tony for a minute because Tony is always going to keep us on spot with some of the things that's happening in the community.
Sorry, we've been
that's all right. I'm ready.
You know, and so he need to bring us up to snuff on some things that's happening and some things that's happening with the Sons of Atlanta.
One of the things, and we've been talking about, is vetting the people that are representing us, letting them know what we think, how we feel, what we want from the government, and what we believe the government should be doing. Today is going to be an opportunity to speak to one of those people one-on-one. Senator Warlock is going to be down in McDonough, Georgia at the Tabernacle Praise Church from roughly 5:15 until, according to the information I have, until they finish talking with him. He's committed to sitting in. And here's an opportunity to vet a sitting senator. You know, he's already elected. Now, he's running again. And
he needs our vote.
And he needs our vote because one of the other political party has a selected person to run against him. And the selected person to run against him has absolutely no idea about what his duties are going to be. All he's going to be, unfortunately, and I hate to use this term, but it's been a term that we've used in the past, he's a puppet.
Without a doubt.
And it's unfortunate that he is allowing himself to be used as a puppet. And because he's doing that, unfortunately, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to buy into it and vote for him. But here's an opportunity for us in our community with someone we know, and we've seen his actions. We are living under the benefits of his actions, of him being elected or getting him reelected. Now, there are some things that he needs to do, particularly the PAC Act. But that's something, but once we get him back in there, now we can talk to him. But here is an opportunity today in McDonough, Georgia, to say, the PAC Act, we like what you did, but like Reverend McGee said, it doesn't go far enough. There are areas in the PAC Act that aren't covered, and we need those things covered. So we thank you for the PAC Act, but amend the PAC Act to cover more veterans. And that's one of the big things that is going on here today. And so we want to get all veterans listening to us. You got time, drive down to McDonough, big church, plenty of room, and he's willing to stay and to discuss the challenges that our community is having along with the veterans. Okay. Other thing, we're just going to hit on it, is we our organization, Sons of Atlanta, is building a memorial in Piedmont Park. We're having challenges right now, but we can see past the challenges. But one of the things that is moving in our direction is the National Park Association. They are moving forward with authorizing Piedmont Park Conservancy to authorize us to build this memorial in the park. Okay. And we're looking for all veterans, regardless to what war you served in, or all families with veterans, regardless to what war they served in or how they were associated with the military, even being employed. Support this memorial. Real simple to do. Buy a commemorative brick. Bricks start at $100 up to $1,000. You become a permanent part of a major memorial in a major city that doesn't have a Vietnam memorial at this time. So this is what we're encouraging all the veterans to do, is veterans, families, anyone, come out, support our organization, support the memorial, and we're going to get this memorial built in Piedmont Park. And we'll turn it back over to you.
And now I want people to understand that the memorial and the monument in Piedmont Park is just part of the story.
Yeah.
We're building this monument to make hometown recognition and appreciation for military service and the sacrifices, to get to know what we're doing. So we're building a memorial in Piedmont Park, but once the memorial is complete, which we are looking at right now, breaking ground this Veterans Day, and having the memorial built and opened by Memorial Day 2023. That's a projection right now. I'm just going to tell y'all what it looks like. But so it's critical that there's people that want bricks, because we only have 12,000 spaces in the park. So you got to get your brick. You need to get your brick fast. But after we finish the memorial, we're going into every community center and library in these areas where these guys came from. See, we got to remind people that every year when we have high school graduation, you have young people coming out of these communities going into the military. So they need to understand what the military is before they go there, to understand how they negotiate it. So we're gonna put some education about military and military service in the library, and we're gonna tell the stories about the service men and women, because we encourage them to write books and put them in the library in their hometown, so that their ancestors and this can I think build appreciation for military service. Like you said, one of the greatest fraternities in the world, and I'm definitely proud of my military service and the people that I serve with. Yeah. So I want their hometown to be. This is where we started. We're gonna do it in Atlanta. Well, we're doing it in Fulton County because we represent 9 different cities in Fulton County. They have never did anything together before. To come together.
Is that amazing or not?
That is.
Is that amazing?
A major city.
Is that amazing or not?
Yes.
And to really amaze the people, this is not a black memorial. It is a veteran memorial. And just like the population, this is what this memorial is represent. To represent every community that gave their sons, so that they can be appreciated, recognized, and appreciated. Now, let me say this, and one of the things that we'll be doing in the community centers is making sure that people understand how important the vote is, how important this democracy is, and how to hold it together. Because these young men, and it's 240 on our website, go people to sonsofatlanta.org, and look at their faces. Most of them died before they were 21 years old.
And you told me that the other day. That's amazing, man. That's crazy.
Before they was 21, meaning they never had an opportunity to vote, but they died fighting so we could have that freedom.
In addition to that, most of the Vietnam veterans was drafted. Is that not
right? Yes, they didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice.
Yes.
They had to honor the law.
And as you were talking, our organization, Business Outreach.
Yeah, talk about that's right.
Well, I do a couple of organizations, but Business Outreach, we've come up with a couple of programs. One of them, we're building a whistleblowers program. Yeah, we calling them out. We call them out.
That's what we do here.
You know what I mean? We call them out. The other one is a before, during, and after program, where we want to be able to go into high schools and have boot camps where we can tell individuals that's going in the military, you know, if you go in the military, you got to understand that there's a good chance that you're going to be like the rest of us. Mm-hmm. You know, when you talk about how many, the large percentage of us come out with some type of mental health issues, you know, because see, the recruiter is not going to tell them.
No.
You know, and then if you look at the whole basic training piece, right?
Talk about that.
Yeah.
It's about breaking and reconditioning.
Yes.
You know, you got people that live in the house where the veterans say, I don't know what he's going through because he won't talk to me, right? We've been conditioned not to talk about what we go through and what happened other than on a forum like this.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad you raised that. I want, because we got some veterans in the audience. We got a live audience every here.
Okay.
And one of the veterans in the live audience there is Tish. Tish is one of our co-hosts. What she and her crew got, I'm just saying it should be in the community. You know, she has a little package, man. It got some powerful stuff in it, natural stuff now, that these veterans done put together to help us deal with the mental illness piece.
Yeah.
You know, in the family, in the house.
Yeah.
Cause see, we didn't watch it not being dealt with at the VA. You know, we didn't watch it not being dealt with in the government. We got to deal with it. And Tish, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. And we need to make sure that next week we put your website on the thing. Cause see, I want people to get this because I used it.
Yeah.
And my stuff is heavy duty now. So, but it gave me the calm that I needed. It gave me something I can say, well, had I had this, you know, early on, I probably wouldn't have been made a lot of mistakes, a lot of bad decisions that mental illness make you do.
Oh, without a doubt.
See, and I got a bad behavior mental disorder. Yeah. That's PTSD.
Yeah.
Bad behavior. That's what it should have been called. We have to let our people know that is a bad behavior disorder. You got to understand the triggers. You know, you got to have enough discipline to withdraw from places at times. Sometimes. You got to be able to leave because you ain't got no control once you're triggered. You got them SWAT team.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't know how many veterans that PTSD have made the police killer.
Right.
So we got to bring this thing to the forefront, but we got to also, like you said earlier, Leonard, tell them we got some solutions.
There you go.
Yeah.
So go ahead, bro. Don't.
There you go. And that's just, I talked about Vision Outreach, which is just one of the organizations I operate. The other organization is VetFest, which is the one I have on the shirt. And VetFest is a platform where we honor our veterans and their families for their courageous service and sacrifice for this country. Now, even throughout this telecast, we've talked about the veteran, but the veteran is connected to somebody else.
Yes.
You know, whatever falls on the head falls on the body, right?
Yes.
So when you look at the fact that these veterans have children, they have nephews, nieces, you know, and I've lived long enough to be the patriot in my family. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having said that, you know, they look up to us and they look to us for guidance. You know what I mean? And in order for us to be accountable and responsible, we have to take care of our own health.
Yes.
Especially our own mental health. Now, here we go. I can't do that by myself.
Right.
I need support. You know, and nobody else see the thing about being the greatest fraternity. It's hard to talk to anybody else about anything that you went through.
Exactly.
I had a speaker at my first anniversary. Man, he said something that was so profound. He said, "People always ask me what happened, but they never ask me how I feel."
Yeah.
Because they don't want to know.
Yeah.
They don't want to know because, you know, that's an emotional attachment that they want to avoid, right? You know what I'm saying? They say, well, look here, take this dog, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that everybody know that this is Veterans Talk. And we're veterans talking to veterans and the community. Yeah. We want you tuned in to this every Saturday because we want what we talk about to become a conversation in the community, you know, so that people can reach out to Tish Leonard and Vietnam Veterans of America, because we ain't just here talking about it. We're being about it in our community every day.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to commend. So I was so glad when I saw Leonard, and because this man has been in the community every day, like we in the community every day talking. But see, what we got to be able to understand, Leonard, and building this coalition, like we had to do in the military, we got to accept each other's differences and talents, what we bring to the table. See, that's what have kept us, like you talk about the jealousy and the envy and all that old crappy stuff. We got to get past that because we at war.
Yeah.
We at war. I got another veteran in the community now. KA Treasures. Brother studying thrift online and offline shop store where you can buy anything, use quality stuff that you can afford. See, we understand now that everything is so costly. You need somebody that can help you keep your house together, keep your things together, and not have to run all over everywhere. So, AK Kenneth, thank you, brother. And Kenneth's also one of them brothers that he only business, but he's also one of them brothers that's disabled.
Okay.
And when you start talking about the services that we run, it depends. The more hazardous duty you have, the more problems you come out of the military with. Even though we're gonna talk about this another time, because Leonard gonna come back, y'all. I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna be back, and it ain't gonna be no long time either. Because what he brings to the table, we need people to know about. We need to share it. Because what Tish brings to the table, we need to share it. Because nobody else is doing this for us.
No, sir. No, sir.
And these are areas, these are problems. We talking about the problem, but we talking about people that's working on the problem every day in that community with their own resources. Where the organizations, sometimes we get donations, sometimes we don't. So we have to go out and generate funds to do it. Tish generated funds to put her package together. Yeah. Now I want people to get this package, because it's something that veterans need in our community every day. We're not here just, Rudy Putin or what Dr. said. We here talking.
You said it on air, man.
We're here talking. I mean, we're going to keep it light because we understand the gravity of it. So, now, I want to thank you for doing this, brother. I'm going to tell the show people, you need to tell people when you're coming back. So, look at them straight now.
Okay. But, Vet Fest, I just told you our mission statement. We got a couple things going on. We have some tickets still. We have a few tickets left for the Big Three down to State Farm tomorrow, and that is the basketball tournament that Ice Cube put together. Right. We also have an event coming up October the 22nd, and that's going to be held at Star Park in Forest Park. And that is our 11th annual Vet Fest. Okay. It's all-day concert, vendors, a lot of vendors with mental health, VA will be there, and other vendors, Kitty Land for the kids, that type of thing. We also have a car show at the new Black Wall Street out in Lithonia, September the 17th. We also are doing we're doing a veteran women's luncheon for Veterans Day in that same location. You know what I mean? So, we like boots on the ground, right? And I relish in opportunities like this, to work with you again, right? And Tish, you know what I'm saying? I had seen her since, May? May. Yeah, we did an event together. Yeah. So, that's what we're going to do. Let's do an event together. Okay. This is what we're going to do. The coalition, we're going to put together an event together in Fulton County.
Okay. Well, with that said, let me say this. Because I got the invitation. I got an invitation. You're going to be one of the people that give the invitation to right now.
You finna give it to me now?
I'm finna give you an invitation to you right now. And everybody in the house, to the invitation that we are calling the first annual Veteran Community Appreciation Award Ball. We're gonna take off an evening on the 8th of October from 5 to 11 o'clock. It's a ball. We're gonna have food, entertainment, and camaraderie. A veteran.
When is that?
Saturday the 8th of October. Saturday the 8th of October.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Wow.
This year. Now what we're hoping, put your information there.
I got you.
You got a pen?
I do not.
Okay, we'll get a pen.
We'll get
Tish.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tish, this is your invitation.
Thank you, sir.
And get JoJo one, and I need everybody that I give an invitation to, because it's an invitation only affair.
Okay.
It's invitation only. It's gonna be about 100 people there, and a lot of politicians, because this is where we get them.
Yeah.
You know, we inviting them to this, and all this is not curiously happened before we vote in November. So this is gonna be nice, folks. Kenny, I want to make sure we get everybody's name, because it's a invitation only, so I need to get your name on the list. Tish, that's yours. I get everybody's name. Get JoJo one too for me, huh? And get his name.
Yeah.
His name on the list. This is October the 8th. This is and what I'm hoping will happen is that the coalition will take over this annual Veteran Community Appreciation Award ball, so that they can bring these organizations, these people together every year. Because now I'm gonna say this: Leonard's been talking about legacy. I'm looking at the Sons of Atlanta being our legacy program, because next year is our elections for Vietnam Veterans of America, and I'm not running for president. It's the first time in 20 years. I'm not running, so I know this.
Good.
I said. So I can be the elder in the crew.
Good.
I can sit back and help those young people that's gonna take over.
That's great.
And that'll give me some room to enjoy some peace.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be on the Veteran Empowerment Commission, which is Fulton County. Which is I'm on with Tish and stuff. We got to fight there, but we're gonna stay there until we make it right, because the community deserve who know who's doing bad business in the community. They need to know who's doing good business in our community. And on this Fulton County Veteran Empowerment Commission, they have put us in a predicament where we can see that in the counties.
Yeah.
Make sure that it happens in the counties. It started off a little rough, but we understand how politics work. And we're gonna call out to Natalie Hall, Tish, and ask her why she hadn't appointed the people that she needs to appoint to this commission. And I mean that we got 3 vacancies, right, on the commission right now, and they all made it impossible for us to move that commission forward the first year. But it's okay. It's okay, because it gives us an opportunity to see what's out there in the rest of the county. And because what we're trying to do in Fulton County, we hope that they mimic it in every county throughout the state of Georgia, because veterans need to come together. They need to come together. So thank you, Leonard, for being here with us.
It was a pleasure.
Tony need to close us out.
Yeah. Well, before he always throws me under the bus, but that's all right. I don't mind. I got all kinds of tracks all over my face. But we just want to remind everybody about the event that's happening today. We've been talking about politics. We have a primary person running for a political office, state senator for the state of Georgia. He's going to be speaking to the community today at the Tabernacle Praise Church on Highway 42, 1640 Highway 42 in McDonough, Georgia. We want all veterans, if you're in the area or if you're just interested, go down. Here's an opportunity to talk to this man, because we want to talk to him to find out, his ideas, what his plans are, and what he can do for us, along with making sure that he gets elected because of the competition within politics today. Also, once again, I'm going to remind everybody, here's an opportunity. Take advantage of this opportunity to join us for our veterans organization to help us raise money, of course, to purchase bricks to build the memorial in Piedmont Park. So we're asking everybody within, I like the old term, within the sound of my voice, to support our organization, and support not just our organization, support any veteran organization within our community, because our veterans community needs all the assistance they can get, and by the communities coming out, standing behind us. We know that we can accomplish all the things that you've heard us talking about today.
Yes. Thank you. Next week, and Leonard didn't say when he's going to be back, but we're going to make sure he's coming back soon. Because Vet Fest is something that's been going on in the community, and it need to be spread throughout all of Fulton County. So thank you.
Oh, we're going across the country.
Yeah.
We're coming to a city or state near you.
Yeah.
All right.
Bam!
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate
you.
you.
Appreciate you.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Yeah, man.
But now we got to get together on the see when we can pull some organization together. I need to get the. We're off. No, we're not off.
We're not.